So another try at this mission. Um, I have the core army plus some jeeps, some self-propelled artillery. This is mainly anti-infantry. I chose these over the ones with the high explosive anti-tank because these also have machine guns, so they're not fully reliant on that one gun to do everything. They are more better at suppression. So if we get to the city part, this will be more useful there. And we have a couple of mortars. Again, for infantry suppression, that's all the artillery is intended for. Also, they're much smaller target size-wise, so we can probably use these as a unit to trick the enemy to do something. Still, someone needs to go there and start eating shots. Want to move any of the tanks initially. These are huge in size, bigger than a tank, so they can't be hit. It has to be an APC, I'd say. And it's some kind of vehicle that they're gonna react to, basically. Without a doubt, they will see. Sure, who should even move this time? I'm thinking as many APCs as we can get. That'll be it. Doesn't matter really where we end up with the APCs, as long as it isn't the river itself. There's gonna be artillery fire coming our way very quickly, so we need to... Oh shit, I'm stuck there. So we need to get rid of this, or pass the river very quickly. I don't want to move the ammo trucks yet, but at the same time, sort of must. Jeeps are not gonna do a goddamn thing. They can function from this location for quite a while. Actually, artillery is gonna be out of meeting factor again. I don't want to bring in the self-propelled guns now. They're gonna be annihilated by the missile fire. Okay, what do we see from here? Basically nothing. They have great mobility too, so that's another advantage of these units. Not sure where I should move the mortars. I doubt I can do effective suppression fire with the mortars anyway. If I move them, I'm certainly not going to do any suppression fire against the infantry. That's a command unit, I don't particularly want to leave it there. It's getting a little bit tight for comfort. I'm surprised there's any chance of moving around anymore. I'll leave the C group here. They'll come with the rest. Nice suppression fire. They're shooting at a small target and making it so cool. Yeah, we can't avoid all the casualties. That's one mortar down. And that was a significant amount of missile fire. I feel like something like that is about as best case of a scenario as you realistically hope for. What's the furthest away unit? Gotta start suppressing it. Might not work all that well, but yeah, at least it's retreating. It, it might still be able to get back into action and fire. It's gonna be a lot harder now that someone's actually shot a few times at him. In. We want to avoid that no one can be ready. That would be bad. I'm not sure if I want to fire with tanks at this distance, but certainly the self-propelled artillery should be firing. Do I see any vehicles? Not really. Right. So APCs it is. We have to spread around a little bit. Time might be our biggest enemy this time. We are taking sort of a roundabout way, and that's gonna take time. I'm not even sure about that. It could certainly be the case, though. What's important is that the stagger teams this time cannot go unchallenged. Every time we hear a peep from any of them, someone has to be able to fire back. That's the key difference, hopefully, based on the compared to the first attempt. Well, these guys can't stay here in the open, they'll always have to move. Kill! Excellent. So the self-propelled artillery is definitely worth it. Retreating, one ready still. but there's a good chance we'll get a kill on it. Not quite, but still very impressed with what these guys are doing. Yeah, only one could realistically offer any kind of return fire on the next turn. And even that's not all that likely anymore. Yeah. Self-propelled artillery has been the missing thing from our army. We have more of it. That's a decent amount of shots too. I mean, about 30, and we do have a ammo barge. So ammo barge hopefully isn't. We're not gonna put it in danger, and we can recharge things. And even if we can't, we can spend well, a third of the entire mission just firing full shots, which we can't do every turn. So we can probably do about half the mission constantly just sitting around and firing without running out of ammo. We'll have to stay hidden still. We're constantly expecting new groups of missile guys basically to just pop up and start firing at us. So what we need to do is stay in these areas where they can see us, and then when our turn comes we can suppress them with our fire. That's more or less how we're supposed to go and continue going. But we cannot leave them outside. That's the thing. They're massive targets. The missiles will hit them easily. We're sort of in a similar situation with a lot of tanks. They need to go from cover to cover at least until the number of missile launchers is reduced a little bit. I don't think we want to leave tanks here. There is no realistic scenario where they could contribute anything too meaningful. Just have to pray that the artillery isn't gonna hit us too hard. Crap. One immobilized tank. It's a command unit for Group C. So it begins. Still, only a couple of new stagger teams. And I think all the teams pretty much that were we shot at initially couldn't basically fire at us anymore. I'm thinking of taking at least a couple of jeeps with us. We have a reasonable amount of jeeps here holding the fort. We can leave the single ammo truck behind. So basically there would be around 6 jeeps here just pummeling at them as they appear. Trying to think which would be the best initial suppression. I don't think I want to use the mortars. They're fairly good at luring people to shoot at us. So propelled guns, I suppose. But like we have a lot of other options. We can't shoot at the correct target. We can shoot a target. That's good enough for me. Why can't we shoot at them from here? The beetles are coming out in front of us. Right. which means that either we pull back a little bit or we have to start moving the jeeps forward. We can't do both. We can't hold these positions while there's Sagura teams basically firing at our teams. Sagura team destroyed. That's what I want to see. Pinned a little, not good enough. I guess we were gonna leave self-propelled artillery unit here. We'll fire every time we can, but it might not be enough. Still think it will be. We want to be a little bit careful here. This unit cannot basically be the one who goes first. That's gonna end up in a disaster for us. Well, I'm not sure disaster is the correct word. It's an unnecessary loss we're gonna eat up. That's basically it. Okay, you can what? Stay here in the open? Shot at? Someone's going to have to do it, otherwise they're not going to reveal themselves. Not an enviable thing to be in, but I think that's pretty much necessary. And thanks to that, we've more or less got at least a platoon of tanks through safely so far. This is a little bit of a too big of a group. And the problem is the artillery. They're spotting us at all. It's pretty much impossible to avoid getting hit a little bit. Want to keep the ammo truck in cover. Yeah, that's this one. They cannot possibly be allowed to spot me. Every one of the ones that we can see are retreating. Okay, some jeeps should really continue on. The K group moves on. L group repositions a little bit, but there's really no good position to be here. We also have to take in consideration that we might start to get casualties, so wouldn't hurt to have a spare jeep there or two. At the same time, we do want the long-range anti-tank capability here too. So I guess these jeeps will go. Everyone else stays here. We are in a fairly good position to provide cover fire still. Pinned Sager team has to be taken out on the next turn. What exactly do you even see? Realistically, this might be able to shoot at a couple of guys, but it's not in a great position. Fuck. We lost APC, the artillery, nothing else. I think I did it the wrong way. I shouldn't leave the targets up there in the open if I can help it, because it's much easier target for them to shoot. I need to rush them, get them to do something about it. Still no real vehicles. Ready, ready, ready. So shit. I needed to leave more artillery here. The fact that we got initial suppression was not good enough. Right now I have to deal with the... this is not good. I basically am in the same situation I am at the... in a failed attempt. I need to leave a platoon of artillery to literally just kill the Sager teams away, not just annoy them a little bit here and there. They need to be wiped out. Otherwise, it's pointless. They'll recover enough that they'll return to annoy my ass later on. And at that point, it was just a gigantic waste of time. Tanks are worthless here, and you're immobilized. Yeah, I knew this was a possibility. Losing a unit or two to that isn't that big a deal. It's not a great deal either, though. But I always suspected that to happen. We could still hold a couple of APCs at the front. They're better targets than almost anything else. Especially if we can use the ones that don't have infantry in them. They're better at suppression, yes, but we don't really have a huge need for them in this force. Actually, if it's not the command unit though, that would be great. I do need to offer a target, so you'll be it. Sacrifice. And the K group will stay. L group will move on. There's definitely going to be a little bit of a missile fire coming our way. My best hope really is that they're a little bit suppressed from the few destroyed units around them. Otherwise, they can quite easily take down the artillery we have in place. Not sure what I should do with these. They're not in exactly an excellent position. Whatever. These guys will not stay in the open. They will peek out, fire at the anti-tank teams as much as possible, and go back into hiding. They're too big to survive in the open. Retreating is fine, but we know that it's not going to be good enough. Still, it's better at this stage than trying to kill some kind of retreating team, is to try to suppress more of them. We can finish them off in the power-up terms. Can see that, so might as well go for the kill. No luck. Self-propelled artilleries are some of our fastest units now. Could you provide mortar partner? How much smoke ammunition do you have? 0. Well, good to know. Routed is better than retreating. Is that it? That's more or less it. We lost a tank and an APC. Not exactly good luck with those. When you try to fire artillery like this, it's incredibly rare to even get mobilization. But if we're basically losing a tank every turn, by the time we reach here, we have no tanks left again. So this time we lost 2 tanks without ever getting into a fight. That's 1/3 of our tanks gone. Yeah, not a good start. I guess we're more or less equal on the unit front in the sense that if we face the enemy units in combat, then yes, we are more or less equal. But we are certainly not equal in this sense. Every unit last year is a big problem. I think we're going for the kill. Yeah, not really a possibility apparently. 3 targets, routed, ready. They went from pretty much retreating to ready. So simple suppression, while nice, is not nearly enough here. Ah, crap. Some mortar. Right. The last time we stayed there, we got just shot by a anti-tank missile. Well, let's not do that this time. I don't think we can really avoid it, but we can have units there that can take out the guy who kills us. So at least let's go that far. Right. Can't really achieve all that much again. 2 tanks lost. Third one, probably. Getting closer. Yep. Uncomfortably close this time. And clickety clickety click. That's an immobilized unit. At least we didn't die this time. So that's something. But every turn we're gonna lose a unit, basically. What exactly are we seeing? I think it's mostly infantry. This was the troublesome hill. There's anti-air and anti-tank units, tons of them all over the place. And that hasn't changed. This is why you exist. So, gotta do something about them. Wind doesn't work, we need kills. Can't get kills. Got to get kills. The range is extreme though, it's 62. So I'm not too surprised that we're at least struggling to get anything done. Okay, now our mortars. There's a lot surviving ones. And that cheap shit. Not sure that made much sense. Yeah, we might be able to lure other units to fire at us, but I'm not sure if we can basically do much about that even if they fire at us. That's the main problem. Be able to do something. These targets are a little bit closer too, so we might have better luck at causing casualties. But who the hell knows? Holy shit, an actual kill. You're like the perfect artillery unit. Any ready units? There should be at least one. No, retreating. This is retreating because bad things have happened to units around it, not because it's been fired upon. And yeah. No, it's retreating on its own. Kill something, please. No. Asking for too much. Fine. Fine, fine. Then let's keep going. Can we get the jeeps that are still here to go there first? I mean, we know that we probably should be moving forward. What do we see? We see there's tanks here at the very least. And we can see here there's there are anti-air guns, if nothing else. So yeah, this is a preferable position to at least a handful of jeeps. I just want to have anti-tank cover. As much as we can hope for, at least. I feel maybe leaving extra units here is not really warranted anymore. But at the same time, not so sure, because we know certainly that there are. Yeah, we can't see shit from this place. Makes no sense to stay here. Sure if we've been able to fire at anything either. No. Enemies haven't really been popping up as hoped. We might want to consider moving. Well, not yet. That's the mistake I did the first time. But at the same time, we're basically either sitting here for the rest of the mission or we're moving. I think it's better if we're moving. But that does mean that the jeeps have to go too. Right? One hole to another. Question is what to do with the tanks. Technically, we don't have to rush it, but at the same time, it's taken us 4 turns to come to this location. We'll probably take another 4 to here, leaving us with 10 turns to try to get everything done. That's not a huge amount of turns, and that's if we constantly keep moving forward. We might have to pack these guys a little bit tight in some of these places, but I think we should move anyway. Also could just fire on the Sagar teams, I guess. These can do it. Please route them. All important kill. You can never do anything useful, and same with you. Not sure we want to rush in here right now, but at the same time, I don't think we have a huge amount of choice. We also have artillery raining upon us, so either we move constantly fairly rapidly as we're around here and there, or we're just gonna end up getting wiped out anyway. Or immobilized somewhere where we can't do any good, so same thing really. One way or another we have to push forward constantly. Sagar teams, yeah, we lost 2 APCs again. Don't really see what we could do differently though. It's going to be bad one way or another, no matter what. If I can say something positive, it's that the Sagar teams their numbers are getting reduced. They can rally themselves pretty much perfectly, but we can also suppress them quite nicely every turn, and we are getting casualties in there. But I'm really impressed with how they are getting back into shape. I mean, no matter what I do, almost none of it matters. They're just back into shape on the next turn, no matter what. Either we basically kill them or we achieve nothing. Two teams dead. Still, as the number of teams gets reduced, the suppression also becomes an easier job. And still, it's a couple of extra teams that are dead again. One ready team. That is pinned. I really hate keeping these guys in the open, but soon we don't really have an option. Running out of space to go from hidey hole to hidey hole. Also, they're much faster than anything else, which is starting to cause problems. They're the first units we are sending anywhere. Sagar team destroyed. 3 Sagar teams gone. I'm trying to get into positions where we could possibly spot something of these units. Not sure if that's happening. Still, that Sagar team is pretty much in operation. Not much we can do about it. Sort of passed that already. Another Sagar team is pinned, which there's not much we can do about it. Maybe like shoot at a totally different target. Hold the hole. Not sure if this is really necessary anymore, but at the same time I don't really see a reason why I shouldn't take the precaution. It's harmless as far as I'm concerned. Oh, you had extra troops. I still need a certain amount of the infantry to get into the city, otherwise I'm in big trouble. Still, we'll see. It's not looking horrible at the moment, but I'm not sure it looks great either. And sooner we're gonna have to start to deal with all the anti-air capable turrets and the like. This is not a good place to be. Not sure what would be though. But we're not seeing the important target areas. Okay, this is an important target area. This is basically just littered with tanks. Probably closer to a dozen tanks there. A few here too. Okay, this is probably a nice place to be in. It doesn't seem like that right now. But it'll be a nice place after a few turns. What exactly do we see from here? Nice coverage on this area, which I think is also a tank area. Nice coverage of that. So this is again another decent place to be in. Again, can see a nice location. And we have a decent amount of missiles, so this might not be a horrible place to be in. At the same time, we can keep moving and point more or less at the same location, and we're immobilized, so yay. Guess we can't see anything because this is our sort of a ravine always. So it's a worthless unit now. Motherfucking turn where no missiles rained on us. Don't think I ever experienced that joy in the first attempt. Feels weird. Right. Suppression artillery moves first. Definitely need to keep in hiding. The target's there. Yes. A routed Sagar team. Doesn't matter. It's a Sagar team we're firing at it. Well, that didn't go anywhere. There is no real cover I could go back to. A good one at least. See shit. We're getting awfully close to the first set of objectives, and nothing really heavy has come our way so far. We would really like to suppress that, though. Not sure if we can do it with any unit. Just can't see it. Yeah, it's in this some kind of weird blind spot. Fair enough. Could you see something? No. Looks like we have 5 tanks that can operate. We have to be very careful about losing tanks because they are tanks we have to take down in the city environment, and the jeeps don't really work well at those ranges. Yeah, we could start harassing these flags on the next turn. Huh. Surprised by that. We're also getting at a distance where even if they would have anti-tank capabilities along the defenders there, the anti-missile launchers, they would be so close they couldn't effectively counter us anyway. Alright. I think we're more or less doing okay. Just need to move these into a better firing position. As in an actual firing position. This would cover a little bit to the target area here. Still not all that much, but where would I want to go really? This covers the area nicely, so I think I'll stay there. Is this good? No. It is not. Well, hopefully if they have units here, and they do, they will choose to shoot at something else. Right, we have maybe about 4 units that can cover that area somewhat. What about the rest of the jeeps? Yeah, we can cover these areas where we know that there are likely locations for the tanks. But does it matter? Because there's going to be one or two things happening. When we start taking these, if they don't react, then why the fuck would I care what they do? If they do, I might as well have as much anti-tank capability here to take the guys coming at us down. So what I don't really get is why in the hell should I stay here if I don't see any targets? Yes, I can possibly keep a support fire, but why can't I keep it from here? Is there some kind of a fundamental problem with that? Suppose we can move along with the ammo truck with the last two jeeps. The K group will basically hold the rear, everything else moves before it, and that'll be it. Shit. Not bad. It wasn't a new unit that fired at us. An old friend just managed to shoot, and that's it. Right. What we need is someone to go here and start revealing things. There's not that many units that can do it. Sagar team destroyed. What a shame. I think I need the unit to be an infantry unit. We are not able to really see anything here. But do I have infantry units here that could do the job? Yep. Well, I do have infantry units though. They will also have infantry. I need some kind of a reaction. Not getting it now. Fair enough. We're getting closer to the flags nonetheless, and we're more or less on schedule. I thought we would reach here about turn 8, and we're now at turn 7, so at turn 8 the main army will be here while we can start threatening the flags. So we'll more or less have 10 turns to push to the northern edge of the map. It'll take around 8 turns at a fairly rapid pace. I think maybe closer to 6 because it's mostly road. Point is, whatever we plan on doing, the progression has to be fairly rapid. We cannot get stuck almost anywhere with fighting. Always have to push forward. At the same time, we can't afford a huge amount of losses, not because of the marginal victory, decisive victory bullshit, but because the progression will stall immediately with that. They have a good probability of just destroying these outright. But maybe not. I want to be also in a position to suppress them a little bit, depending on what they do. The rest of you losers can just drive wherever. Not seeing anything useful. Right. The Sagar team's gonna get us sooner or later though. So unless I can take it down, we need to move the jeeps anyway. How much ammunition do I have? 20. A respectable amount. Can't see shit. Excellent. What the hell do they have there? Can't see shit. So it's pretty much the jeeps again that can possibly try to do something. And I think we probably should just try to leave this area behind. Realistically, we are providing some support, but we're more or less just a target for the Sagar team to keep firing at. So not seeing all that much benefit in staying there. Need a jeep or two to stay here in case a vehicle of any sort reacts there. That said, I need more units close by in general. From hilltop to hilltop. Could be the worst bombardment yet. We lost a APC. Right, time to get the show on the road. Something has to happen now. Why can't I There we go. And it's suppressed enough. Right. Trying to go for flags. Okay, that's a T62. Someone else needs to shoot it. I can see something. I can see him. And that's it. I don't want to shoot at him to be able to react to whatever pops our way. Huh. Less of a reaction than I thought there would be. Right. APC's next. Suddenly infantry. That's always a wonderful thing. Got it. For shame. Route it, please. Thank you. Wait. You still have a passenger? No good. Holy shit, SA2 guideline. Now that infantry's gone. But this was more or less what we expected always. Shit. At least the effect wasn't too dangerous. And they're retreating. Holy shit, do we see something? A little bit too far away. And there's really no point shooting at that thing though. It cannot possibly really harm our units here. We might even just sort of move past this, because we have units coming after us that are more than capable of handling everything here. And they will never have the ability to reach the northern areas anyway. I suppose this is an inconvenient spotting unit more than anything else. Also, it has a billion people using it currently. 10-man crew. Not sure what to do with our ammo truck, really. Okay, what exactly do we cover? Where's the tank we killed? There, right. Cannot see there at all. We were initially supposed to escort the ammo truck, but I think we need to get into better firing positions. It's more valuable. The few missiles we have will have to do until the ammo truck catches up with us. What about you? This is actually in a good position, well, not exactly a good position though. A little bit to the side, and I think it is a good position. Right, we'll cover likely locations where the tanks are going to be popping up. Might be better if we move a little bit to the side, alternatively go here. That would allow us to target a lot of areas. But we would also put our sails into a location that is easily fired upon. Can we react to something useful? Yes, we can. So I'm thinking we'll keep these two guys here for now. Although I'm not so sure. The problem is everyone's sort of moving around constantly. We can't react to suddenly appearing enemies if we move around constantly. At the same time, we're not expected really to react to anything immediately. More or less we're going to move into this hill and these areas and just try to fire on the tanks that appear in the center of the map. We are never planning to assault the city section with the jeeps. I think our self-propelled artillery will be the most valuable unit when we get to the city. As a big enough gun that will probably take care of the APCs, and it can easily take care of the infantry. I'm thinking of maybe leaving a tank here in the open. Single tank to see what their reaction will be. There are a lot of other targets there too, so even if there's someone shooting at us, it's not necessarily going to shoot at the tank. But I think it's time to restart testing our waters in that sense. Can't keep hiding the tanks forever. As far as I can see, fairly harmless turn. It's all still in the open, and this is the halfway point. So the terrain we came through here was rough, no roads, we had to cross a stream, or a ravine rather. Good suppression, rallying skills. Went from withdrawing to full readiness. There's a good chance their HQ unit is actually either here or in the area here. Not sure how I'm gonna get that. It's not something I will worry about too much because I need to sort of just drive past it with most of our units anyway. You. What the fuck? Why didn't I see that? Oh shit. It's... I think it's literally this dug-in hole. Fucking hell. I thought I've basically shot a unit out of it, but I guess I haven't. Do I have infantry here that's capable of moving? I need to move multiple units next to it. Someone is gonna spot it. But this is so goddamn aggravating. I can't go there. I must go there. If I drop in troops there, they're gonna be just slaughtered. Okay, at least we spot some infantry. Little progress. Can't see shit. There's likely infantry in that building too. Any kind of reaction if I dump infantry here? No one sees anything. So, what are we gonna do? Okay, that's a new unit spotted. That's a new unit spotted. That's a new unit spotted. Excellent. Progress. Right, it's basically worthless now. I need this routed. If you something. It's a medium machine gun, so it's unlikely to be able to get all that much done. Heavy could possibly take down APC. Not sure what we're gonna do with the MMG. So I can't really do it with vehicles. At the same time, if I try to assault it with a lot of infantry, there's going to be a significant amount of casualties. I suppose we don't have to do anything with it. We don't. Killing all the enemies is not the requirement of getting moving forward with this. Right, there's definitely tanks that can fire on directly at me. So this is not a good place to be, really. Hmm. What exactly are you spotting? Nothing all ain't that important, but there are definitely tanks here too. And we're keeping an eye out on them. Not sure if that's a worthwhile thing to do though. Still, the ammo truck is here, so it's probably not a horrible thing to do. And there's really, yeah, I don't know. Ah, could be useful, I guess. There are gonna be more tanks there that we need to take out, but here's the bots. This might be a better location anyway. We do need to push here. I'm not sure what that push actually involves. We want to go on this ridge. We don't have to go all that north to it, but we need to go to it so we can fire on the units on the other side. They might want to make some kind of attempt to retake things. This is, for example, an okay place. They would have to go across this road or this piece of road to get to those. That's actually in a okayish position. Same with this. Not sure about these. How much ammunition do we have? 15. Don't want to waste it on retreating enemies. We're not exactly low on it, but I feel like we would have to take time to recharge our ammunition, and I don't want to waste time on something like that. We're in a hurry. It's still a little bit of a pain in the ass. There's likely units here, and what do we have to send against them? Almost nothing. On the other hand, I could also do this. Stop using the main gun, and just use the machine gun to do the necessary suppression. So we have options. This is not going to be a worthless unit after the main gun ammunition runs out. In these situations, for example, the main gun probably doesn't contribute all that much. I mean, the unit's going to die anyway. I really don't want to be too here in the open, because these are gigantic units, and they have units capable of taking them down here, without a doubt. Still gotta make some progress. Guy's already routed. Still, any casualty on it would be immensely useful. Survivors disperse. Okay, I'm fairly certain I haven't moved all units yet. Yeah, that's the tanks again. We need to move them in the shelter of these buildings. That basically guarantees that we can use this line. Move north. We have to avoid giving the BMPs a chance to use their missiles against us. But that's about it. Not quite sure what's the best way to achieve that, but sure we'll figure out something. We're a little bit in a hurry to figure it out, though. We're supposed to be attacking them soon. I don't know. I think as long as we get to the edge of the city and get into these sections, we're basically under the range of their missiles. So we're going to tackle them in smallish groups. There are the Su-100 assault guns there though. So fuck. Well, it immobilized a jeep in a location that's sort of okay, so I'm not too worried about this. And that's the worst of it this time. Right, half of the mission done. Not that much fighting happened. Airfield will be secure after this turn. So he's content to staying put there. He can't see anything but the Texas around him. So he's also perfectly harmless to us as long as he stays there. Problem being, I need to get that. So I need to get a foothold on this hill. If I can do that, I can basically just smuggle some kind of unit there to take these. Don't have to really kill everything that's there. We should definitely be seeing some BMP action. Well, they should be able to fire on me, let's put it that way. Not quite the same. The Strela team will have an assault rifle that's worthwhile, but it basically is otherwise harmless. Mortars here, ooh, that's a heavy machine gun, a threat to an APC. The mortars are probably the best units to use for this type of a scouting job, and then maybe capturing those. Maybe some infantry might be better, but that's more or less it. There aren't a huge amount of good choices. Hello, my friend. Expecting you. Okay. Jeeps earn your keep. One of you must see it. Higher point of spreading you around all over the place. No. It's exactly in the wrong spot. The smoke is blocking it. This is a very bad location for us though, because it can shoot at us when we move past here, but we don't have an easy way to taking him out. We would basically need to get control of this hill. No, that's not enough. I think we have to let it live for now. Heavy machine gun is strong enough to destroy this. Don't want to rush it. Uh, how do you feel about this guy? Yeah, probably not too keen on it. Might be able to get a cannon like this to fire at it, but it would still not die to it. So what it looks like is basically we have a unit that's in an impossible situation survival wise, and we have no jeeps covering that because they can't. It's exactly in the one weird spot where you can't get anything done. Shit. And that's not really the full problem though. Can I can't see anyone. I can't even see him. So I can't really assault here. The infantry or otherwise, it's gonna get annihilated there. The problem is they're stalling me, and I can't afford to lose this time. Might be able to smoke the front of it. That would give me the ability to move past it. Maybe a command unit or two might can do that, but no one else. Yeah, they have like 2 smoke ammunition. No, this wouldn't really help. Shit. Yeah, he's been seeing us for a while. Just chose not to fire. Shit. I think he's gonna hold his fire anymore. I just can't get any heavy unit there, and I'm going to have to leave this unit in a totally hopeless position here. Pisses me off. I don't see an answer to this other than just letting the unit die. I don't like that. I think we should try to get to a resolution of this issue quickly. Always load if things turn to total shit. The worst thing is to sort of try to figure it out and not get any kind of solution to it. You're basically just wasting your time. Nothing seen. At the same time, I can't afford to stay here and be sort of harassed by it. I don't have the time for it. At the same time, I can't just rush past it because it'll just slaughter everything. Yep, that's not even the same unit, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. This is not gonna have a happy ending. I'm way too exposed there. At the same time, I'm not sure I have a lot of options. Try suppression fire. It's not gonna help much, but it's pretty much the only thing I can do. More or less, it'll just mean it can shoot like once less, maybe, even that. Right, did we learn here? We basically don't get the good positions. We got shit. Can't contribute anything useful. Okay, that would actually have been a position where we could have fired on it. Probably wouldn't have been a good shot, but it would have been enough ability to fire on the plastic unit. Just can't see enough. This is, yeah, but we are still seeing fairly good areas. Areas where enemies are without going to appear sooner or later. So, hold your position. This sees pretty much everything. Also, the stagger team can't see us. It's also a place where the enemy is not gonna probably tolerate our presence for too long, but at least it'll have to do something. That's the key point. Well, whatever we do, we have to stay on the edge here. This way we can fire on all the important locations. Right. What else? We probably want to keep artillery unit or two close by, because we might have to do the standard issue suppression fire thing. That's it. Most of the front units should probably move forward and use the units coming from the rear to bolster this. We don't need all of them, probably. Well, there's a new unit. Glad I moved everything already. Anyone who could fire, could you see something? No. Definite no. Right. So it doesn't really fundamentally change the goddamn thing. We just see two tanks that are gonna murder us, that's basically it. So yay for us. And tanks have moved. Yeah. This could be horrible. I think we're just gonna lose this, and that's probably it. Holy shit. Yeah, catastrophic situation. Absolutely catastrophic. Right, so they could shoot at us constantly, but we couldn't shoot at them. The classic bullshit situation. So the moment we go here, the BMP fire will begin. There's no getting around that little nice little detail. Now, can any of you see anything here? No, they're all suffering from the same problem really. It's the one blind spot our group has, and there's not much I can do about it. And it cannot be a blind spot after this turn. They will not be able to shoot south. So in that sense we're more or less safe. We don't want to move too close here. More or less we want to go against the BMPs as soon as possible. We need to move the units that are seen by the tanks in position to somewhere else. Not sure I want to shoot the Strela team with this. The tanks have to retain their shots as much as possible. You can probably suppress the Strela with almost anything. Also the infantry is there. Shit. So whoever goes there is pretty much dead. just have to stay here. Right, these guys are basically going to be horribly murdered if they stay here. We go. There's a little bit of room to hide there, but that's all of it. Right. Maybe there. I mean, that's starting to be questionable. I don't feel comfortable about that. I think I'll drop infantry here though. I'm gonna use it to go through the building and act as a spotter on the next turn. Okay, that'll be enough. Hopefully the delay this causes isn't all that severe for us. It gives us a chance for one turn to get the attack group that's basically stretched out to group up a little bit. It's also a positive. But we have to get a bypass the tanks after on the next turn. This only makes sense if that's the end result. Oh, this is a place where we die. I think as long as no one here spots them, or it causes them to react rather, then we move jeeps into place, they're probably in a good position to reaction fire on them. Or just destroy them outright if someone else causes them to react. But something along those lines has to be done. I just can't see anything. Right. I can't get into a good position either, so still gotta move. Gotta keep moving. Right, this would have a chance to get to where we want to go. I think this can at least shoot one of the tanks. This can definitely attack both, so can this. It's gonna be a bit windy place to be in, but that can't be helped. Right. This is your backup against any kind of infantry causing trouble. Everyone else probably should move somewhere else. This could be a dangerous place to be in too. Definitely hug the goddamn building. What about you? Hmm. Fingers crossed. Fuck. How bad is the suppression? No suppression, no suppression. No one gives a shit. Single G plus, I certainly don't give a shit. Okay. Why are the Sagger teams coming here? Are they trying to retake things? I probably got them to move up from their defensive positions, so they've basically started to move a little bit toward us. Wait, time for you to cause the enemy to react. No? Yeah, zero shit's given apparently this time. Which is nice, but they're still gonna murder me. Yeah, I do need someone to actually get shit done here. Nothing. I don't know how to deal with this. I was heavily relying on the fact that I don't really have to do a goddamn thing. They're just gonna quickly react to us somehow. What was it that caused them to react, or not react this time rather? I need that solved because I'm boned if I don't get them to show themselves. These guys are all going to die. So could you guys please just show yourselves or something? Okay, wrong mission. Yeah, this is just going worse and worse and worse. Now there's a Sagger team there. This is all wrong. Also, you went into a totally wrong place, so thanks for that. Right, this just doesn't work. If the initial group of units can't get things to basically be shown off, there's nothing I can do. So this is not the actual save. Yeah, it's still not the save. Right. What the hell causes them to react? I moved a hex at a time this time and there was no real reaction. They're just... no one gives a shit suddenly. Why not? There's at least 3 units that can spot me. If I go there, I'm dead anyway. If I stay here, I'm sort of dead anyway. So we can choose multiple different ways to get horribly murdered here. Thank you. That's the spirit. Now that actually does help quite a bit, simply because now the one of them is dead, so the other one can probably be just engaged in normal fashion. Possibly. That's a big if though. It still means someone's going to have to actually go in there. Small units do it best. And you can't actually see the target anymore. You could never see it. Holy shit. Does anyone see that? Not really, no. So, this is an interesting position to be in then. No kills this time, but I think the suppression effect will look more of the same. So they won't... No, that's just pinned. So they're at least operational. Can't believe I can't shoot the other tank. So the situation isn't fundamentally any better, really. Could I even in theory reach it with some units? Yes, I could. But I have no clue what that magical position is where I can shoot at it. Can't see a goddamn thing. That's the theme about things. Shoot at some kind of a Strela team. At least I could shoot it from here. Well, you have 3 shots before you die. Kill it. Well, hit it. That's something. Kill it, but it's retreating and it got a pretty bad hit. I think it lost a machine gun. Huh. That's not good, but that's something you can sort of work with. Right, we'll have to leave at least one infantry squad here to keep this son of a bitch in check. No shit. Fuck. Didn't want to go there, I wanted to go there. And now we're so suppressed. Ugh, at least we can attack once. Mobilized my ass. There's still the AA gun there. Want to continue on fairly quickly, but at the same time we can't completely ignore these. Otherwise we're just gonna keep racking up more casualties. Not sure what place is safe to be in here. I'm thinking this area in general starts to be very dangerous. I'm not sure how exactly the visibility will go there, so I'm a bit careful about all areas. As long as we manage to move north at a fairly brisk pace, we should be fine. But brisk pace it is. We might have to do suppression fire, so I'm a bit cautious with where I shoot. No, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I don't want to fire with this. Fire with something though. I think I'll win this exchange. At very least it's gonna be suppressed to the point that we can ignore it, move on. Crowded plus casualties. That's a hard thing to come back from. What else? No more Srila team. Holy shit. 2 Sagar teams. Yeah, that's actually a problem. To be able to deal with them somehow. Full ammunition going on. Well, technically we could fire on that, but I don't really see the point. Also, moving in here. This is a fairly good spot to shoot at a lot of targets, so just because one jeep already died there doesn't really change that. We could move. There are Sagar teams coming there though. We probably should move at least some jeeps with the attack force. Right. Keep your eye on the ball. We want the flags, not to want to kill every enemy here. Naturally, if we can pull that off, all the better, but that's not vital. This is pretty much screwing me over with the visibility limitation. Much better. That Sagar team is giving me trouble. And I don't think I can reasonably take it out. Right. Surely one of you can still shoot at that son of a bitch. Kint Sagar team. That's a threat I can't accept. We both routed now. Yes. Ah, if I can add to that, all the better. They need to die. One down. And the other one is just routed even further. I really hate the Sagar teams. Whatever it takes. I'm getting a little bit low on ammunition, but nothing critical yet. That's more or less it. I'll quickly go through the... Does someone have movement? Some of the jeeps maybe? But they're in fairly good position, so I'm not sure why they... Why would I care? 1M, 1O, fuck it. More or less everyone's moved already. Okay, we got artillery dropped on us a little bit, but nothing too serious. But a little bit of our infantry just suffered. More or less things look fine. I'm wondering what they're gonna do here though. We are seeing stagger teams basically coming southward. Not sure why, but more and more of them are just trickling down. Well, two stagger teams down. Thinking of holding my position here. But it's not really needed for the job I'm doing. Also, I have 7 heavy high explosive ammunition, which isn't exactly all that looks luxurious of a number. So ammo replenishment wouldn't be all that unwanted at this point. Right. We'll still have to be somewhat careful. APCs first. They're the most sacrificable unit. Hmm. 6 turns left. Not a huge amount of time. Certainly can take these, maybe the lower flags. Trying to get all of the flags here is much more questionable. But at the same time, we know that there aren't that many infantry units defending these. Other defenders were up at the front. So we want to push through fairly quickly at some kind of tight hole here and end things there. Don't want to try to kill everything. We'll also try to move at least one of these. No. We need most of the force has to go north. I don't see a way around that. If I try to skimp out on that, then we're never going to get enough flags for it to matter. BMPs can shoot at the road. Does not mean that we shouldn't be using the road, because we are running out of time. If we don't use the road, our maneuverability or mobility is gonna suffer massively anyway. Maybe up to the point that we're gonna lose because of that, I don't know. It's still a pretty goddamn big of a risk to take at this point. We're supposed to try to get results quickly. Right. We are expecting enemy units there, so someone's going to have to take a look. Actual look. Also need to keep in mind that without tanks there's no possibility of really getting anything done here. We have their assault guns here. Still, we should be able to see this, so unless something totally unexpected comes our way, I don't see why we couldn't take care of everything. The question is, do we want to use the jeeps for anything? We might be able to get a little bit out of them here, but that's also it. So it's very hard to see any long distance here. Right, I think the jeeps more or less have bumped their permanent position. I could push the artillery forward there too. I mean, it doesn't matter really what unit exposes the enemy there. I think that's a highly risky maneuver. You couldn't basically find a fatter pig of a unit to do your scouting, so I don't see how you could possibly blame when you're going to get reaction fire on something that's inevitably going to annihilate you. Because what else could it possibly do? We're riding with a little bit of a risk. I mean, going next to buildings, going so far here, going along the roads and so forth. I'm not sure how much of a luxury again we have just waiting around. We don't quickly move into better positions, we're screwed anyway. We have to go through a lot of, I would say at least 10 enemy vehicles, a couple of assault guns, quite a lot of BMPs. So we need a significant amount of troops of our own here. And this will be our capture unit here, Or at least, let's take a look what the hell is going on, unit. What the fuck is that? It's a helicopter! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is not something I did not see coming, so congratulations game, you surprised me. You got me on this. Holy shit, what am I supposed to do with you? Don't really have any anti-air capabilities. And it's right next to all of our units. How the fuck did no one see a flying helicopter gunship here? In the first attempt or in this attempt? I feel like the visibility is something like that could I mean, it's not exactly a silent ship or anything, so someone might have heard something maybe. I mean, something. The bigger problem is, I'm not sure if we have the units to take it down. I have no dedicated anti-air. At the same time, a lot of our units does have anti-air machine gun, so we could probably drive it off. But get a little bit of damage on it, that will also suffice. I need to do something with it now. It's gonna be ugly going next to it, but I don't have a choice. Right, that's a huge amount of horseshit. Took damage, that's the important part. It's probably going to just get the fuck out of here. Moving at full speed already, and it's right next to the edge of the map. That's gonna be very hard to keep here. Alright, but it's not really okay. I'm not going anywhere. Still, you got me, game. You got me. Hmm. Not sure where we can move here. Can't be too far away from the road. I'm thinking I'll go into one of the ducking holes here and duck myself in. No matter where the machine gun tries to go, we will be in a superior position to take it down. Is that it? I think that's it. Weird turn. Weird. Did not expect any of that. Gunship exit map. Right. Ah. You can't buy individual gunships. There's another one somewhere. I feel like there's something really I'm not sure wrong is the correct word here, but the AI that runs this game doesn't handle all these type of new things all that well. Helicopter use like that is probably one of them. It's treated like any other tank basically, and that's not how you use a helicopter effectively. Good for me, but still. Okay, let's go with the quick units that hopefully can spot enemies. Cause some kind of reaction. I need to move within striking distance of these flags. I don't want to go next to the building. Yeah, without a doubt there's infantry there. I've got to go through something, so I guess it might as well be you. That was a mistake. This only has a single weapon, and we are buttoned to the point we are basically dead here. No, I don't necessarily have to load, but really care. It's easy to load when we're so early in the turn. I need something else to act as the killer here. Ho ho ho, H0. I think this is a good enough of a unit. It has enough machine guns so it can get the suppression job done. There's infantry in that building. Can't see it though. Not sure I want to go too much closer because more or less I just want to be within striking distance of the flags. I want to be able to force them into doing something. Anything really. Same here. It's not that important what's going to happen next, as long as we reveal units so we can move forward. Looking at this, it'll take about 3 turns to gather all the flags here. We have 6 if we include this. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Right. I should be able to see enemies. I'm not, which is bullshit. Yeah, they're right next to me already. Been here for God knows how long. Also, most of these will have infantry. Same unit. Want to see at what point we can see the enemy. That's actually not bad. I'm not gonna fire with this unit. There are units closer by that will have a better position. This could also be a good place to see how effective is this against the armor. Chance to hit is pretty low though. This seems like it's mainly anti-infantry. These units have quite a lot of mobility. Don't think we want to spread out anywhere until we've taken Why in the nine hells don't you see anything? We're clearly in the assault gun territory now. At the same time, I suppose I'm glad that I've managed to clear the place up to this point. It means we're more fairly safe to bring additional troops and swarm all the nooks and crevices still here, so we can overwhelm any enemy here. I couldn't fire on that location from a long distance anyway. We'll have to be still a little bit careful. Tanks move last. Phew. I definitely need to get the infantry out. Shit. Usually the assault guns aren't particularly good, but at these ranges, it doesn't matter the slightest. They're gonna kill just as effectively as anything else. Is that a building? Dropping the infantry mainly so I can go through the buildings and take a look. Am I getting into some kind of a big ambush or not? I can't afford major casualties. Also, that's where somewhere where the assault gun can fire at us, which is no good. How about this? No. What to do? What to do? Drive at full speed, hope for the best. We could go to the sides, but I think that's a stupid thing to do. We would basically be fighting against more enemies than we really have to help them. And there isn't enough time for me to fight it with everyone. Might still be a nice idea to send additional units here. There's only a couple going at the moment. At the same time, we have other units sort of still in the rear that could move to it. So I think it's better to have the front units just keep moving forward. Oh. We have enough power here that as long as we get rid of the assault guns, everything should be more or less fine. Holy shit, you see someone. Alright, infantry. What about you? I don't see how these could be... well, we could use these as sacrificial units to scout. They're very small, smallest of our units. And if that's the only use I can get out of them, fine. They're also in no other connection to the other army going there. I feel that's fairly important. It means if they get killed, it won't have much of an impact on the attacking force otherwise. to see. Hmm. These guys have a lot of mobility. They can, yeah, they could probably get to everything in 2 turns. The next turn is fairly important. We have to take down probably about 3 vehicles, one way or another. Hopefully tanks can handle the assault guns. The others can go after what the hell they want. Doesn't matter. As long as we get the casualties. Right, I think that's the most important thing. Right. Pretty perfect as far as I can see. Right, this will be the deciding turn. There's still a few turns left, but if we can basically take down the assault guns now, that'll be it. Anything going on here? Routed infantry. This is the other thing that can go in many directions, right? It did not go our way. Still, it's not like it was the only unit going there, so now it's been going. There's a better way to do this. It's we don't have to get this now. That's I suppose the better way. There's no need to rush it. Not in the same way. Ooh, they have BRDM spotters moving in. Right. We need to move there soonish, but we have enough mobility to get it immediately. We can afford to wait a turn or two for the situation to improve. Can you see anything? Really? What exactly does anyone see here? Yeah, what we see it's pretty goddamn spotty. We see this, but we don't see the much more important area in front of it. One guy sees it. It's a bit too close to fire accurately. Well, we did some damage to it. Might be able to use a cannon like this to get rid of it. It's a fairly soft target. No such luck. I'm gonna induct direct fire that building. No visible result. Mm, right. Now the more important fight. Start with what the fuck was that? BMP SP100, probably infantry too, but can't see. We could try to get their attention. I don't really see a downside to that. Right, because someone's going to get shot anyway, so might as well. If it's the infantry, it's all the better for us. Still can't really see anything useful here. And we're totally destroyed. There's an infantry squad there. And you retreated. Oh, why did you do that? Right. Is there a good way to try to engage the MP somehow? Right. We have big guns here, but I think it might be better for us to just basically throw the tank there. It can go badly for us, but everything can go badly for us here. Yeah, now it at least did its initial reaction firing. Second reaction firing. Let's see if there's additional infantry here. No. And the BMP doesn't seem to give a shit either. Let's go next to it though. Can still move close enough to take down an assault gun there. We have to more or less sacrifice something to take the flag. But again, the focus needs to be on pushing forward. We can always have some kind of additional squad to take care of the flag situation. Gonna need to reveal what's waiting for us here. Jeez. Why can't I see the goddamn eggs? BMP. Hmm. Why the fuck can't you see anything? Okay, it's a miracle he survived, but they wasted quite a lot of shots and achieved absolutely nothing. Okay, we're within striking distance of those flags. Um, bullshit your immobilization. We move somewhere else. We might be able to get closer to the flags here. They're a little bit suppressed by the fact that we've destroyed some of their friends. Not too badly though, so we can't exactly rely on their suppression to get the job done here. But it does have an effect. They certainly are not eager to react to anything either. I could. The button is not good enough though. If it was retreating, the BMP, then I could risk going maybe in its rear and try to do something clever with that. But currently it's a bit too risky. However, we are pushing there with pretty much everything we've got, so yeah, you cannot be the one to go in. You, on the other hand, can. Someone else would have to go against the assault gun, though. At the same time, I don't want to throw away any unit. There's no telling what we still need to do, so every unit might count. They can definitely destroy APCs. He is still in good condition. He might be buttoned up enough to not be able to react too much. Still, I'm not exactly too hopeful on that front. Okay, you're gonna have to take a chance on it. Someone had to take the chance. Ah. Right, you. What about you? Two tanks revealing themselves. This does not get any better. Saving an this pretty much worthless infantry in its life. Is it worth it? No, it's not. Okay. That one has to be destroyed first, because otherwise it will blindside to it. Okay, a little bit dangerous. Fuck. We're not gonna hit a goddamn thing. Have to ignore the swatter then. Tanks are much more important. Their simple location makes them much more important targets. I cannot get to the flags without getting to the tanks. Anyone running out of missiles? Not really. Still, I think we would be in a position to take the flags. I wouldn't want to take them now because there could be a drastic response to that, and I would like the jeeps to be in a better condition to respond to that. They surrendered. We can't move, right? Five targets. We probably should suppress him as much as possible. There's also a unit there that probably can see us. Can't do all that much about it. And we failed to suppress it even a little bit. Perfect. Don't like it. Slightly better. What about the jeeps? Jeeps certainly have the mobility to get the job done. I don't think we want these necessarily in a combat role, but the mobility these have is tremendous, and that could be make the difference between win or lose. The swatter probably can hit something like this fairly well, so don't go there please. And you. Yeah, pretty ugly for infantry, this type of weapon. How much ammo do we have? Enough. Okay. We still have to be able to do something about that blasted assault gun, otherwise we are in deep shit. BMPs only sees us and see us before. Right? That's fun. Yeah, it can still see us. Ooh, we have smoke ammo. Is that a good thing though? I mean, technically we can block the sight to that, but then it might be a little bit of a positive thing for us right now. But we are going to have to pay for it. Chance to hit is pretty low. Not sure if it's gonna get any better if we get closer. We have smoke ammo. Yes. We have to take a chance on this, no matter what we do. Another assault gun firing on us. I can't deal with multiple assault guns. Yeah, I want the crew out of here. They're spotting. They're nasty little spotters for the enemy. Definitely need to push north. That's where the pressing need for these tanks are. Am I missing something? Nothing that I can obviously see. There might be still some units I haven't moved all that much. Just jeeps. Maybe some of the artillery pieces. But yeah, some of the artillery pieces. These guys need to be taken care of now. And you all need to be destroyed. I think I sort of want to waste my time on these. They have still the numbers that they might have actually been able to make some kind of a counter offensive. No, I don't think they have it. Fibers disperse. Ah, what a grueling mission. Now the real shit starts. They're starting to activate with the frontline units that we've gone around. Do you handle some of these? No. Right, we need to... Actually, we don't need to do a goddamn thing with these. But we need to start spreading to the sides a little bit to secure the flags there. Hello, my friend. Guess I chose the correct building to try to go into. Okay, someone's going to have to handle that. Squad destroy. Perfect. We could try to push for the flags, but again we have multiple turns extra time to do it in. I'm not sure if I want to take these and then pull back or try to defend them. It's probably harder that way. And there doesn't appear to be all that many units moving that direction anyway. Fuck. Right. Because that happens. And no one can see shit. Yeah. Ah, crap. I wish there was some kind of indication, though, which game I loaded the last time. Definitely wasn't this. Was it? Yes. Ah, god damn it. This more or less means we are gonna have to assault these places seriously, not just try to rush into them. Still not sure how much units we want to direct into any different area though. Well, one way or another we have to direct more troops in these areas. Still, 3 turns time there, no real problem. Ah, this is gonna be a nightmare. We have infantry available here. Yes, we should. I think we want to send more infantry in this direction. We are the M-Swatter. Okay, this might be our one of few units that might actually be able to get these guys to react to something. Well, their vehicles have to go in. Yep, that's pretty bad. 4 infantry dead. Usually machine gun can maybe get 2. Ooh, they have infantry out. And this situation. Well, whatever we're gonna do, the jeeps have to do it first. Right, we might be able to do something useful against the BMP. Ah, crap. Probably infantry in some of these buildings. Not that I can do much about it, even if there are. Other BMP. Right, this is probably the most important thing. Because if there's maybe something there too, but these are the last major obstacles I have to deal with. Not sure I can deal with all of them. But at the same time, their accuracy isn't anything amazing. I'm not super concerned. And immediately we are hit down with mobile. Clickety clickety click. And no clickety clickety click. Ah, I guess we'll move the jeeps here at last. But we do need the T-62 to die, probably even all his friends that are there somewhere. But I don't really get... I don't care about the swatter unit here. My biggest problem's gonna come from this area, and basically we fired quite a bit. We're in fact out of ammunition with some units. Mostly missed. And there could be a metric ton of additional trouble coming our way. Okay, we more or less have to drive a tank in a location that we can take care of these two. Don't really have infantry I could dump anywhere. B0. Yeah, this is not gonna be fun. Still, it would be better for us to sacrifice almost anything besides that tank. So it does not really make sense for us to try to shove that first there. Please kill this if you want to. I might be able to get some kind of a suppression going on that though. Otherwise I'll have to. surprisingly hard to hit a target of that size, apparently. Other BMP. Excellent. I think this is starting to be a little bit too much BMP for us. Shit. It's hard to say though. They don't appear to be super high quality units. Mainly meaning this in this case that they can't fire a huge amount of times. But I'm sure if I go right next to them, they'll fire at least once, and that'll be enough to kill something like an APC. So we want to avoid that. At the same time, BMPs at these ranges with the ammunition they have, I think they're just as deadly toward the tanks as they are toward anything else. So I'm not sure if what we're trying to do is enough. I mean, try to get rid of the assault gun. In some ways, the assault gun might be less of a threat to us. If we go there, we'll have to deal with the assault gun and the BMP. Ah, shit. I'm getting into better positions. Not sure. Ooh. Better position to try to take over the flags. Ah, shit. The next turn, we're gonna go for the flags. Right, there really isn't all that much left for me to do. We could try to do something with the jeeps, I suppose. Because they would be, well, tank would survive most hits. The jeep won't really survive anything. And there are enough units that here to kill a jeep easily. I mean, anything will kill a jeep. That's sort of the problem with the jeeps in the first place. I suppose I could go into a position where... Let's say try... Ooh, there's a Sager team there too. Well, that's a good thing to notice right about now. We're gonna use the jeeps as spotters and capture units here. What else we could use it for? If it moves even a little bit, we're not really firing anymore. Targets are too close to use a guided missile on. So it's pretty much the tanks at this point and nothing else. Right. These guys have smoke ammunition. I need to put some smoke there to cover our asses against the... what is it? Ah, for God's sakes. Sager team. Hmm. How much armor do we have? We're definitely not gonna survive against EMP. I was thinking it might be worth a try. Yeah, these guys are terrible against vehicles. I have to try something though. Yeah, and you're dead. You survived. Yes. Alright, they're in a pretty tough spot. We don't have to move much to be able to start firing on them, so they might get a... Oh, they're retreating. Button, ready. Yeah, that actually did quite a lot of good. Q1. You can do it. It's an ancient tank. We can't really do much against these. I suppose it's fine. I might be able to cause a little bit of fuss though. Kill the goddamn crew. How can you not do it? It's the other target you can see. I think we could go fairly close to shoot at these two. If we can kill one of them now, they're certainly not going to be able to hold their positions, and the chance of killing one isn't actually all that low either. Retreating, right. It's probably routed right about now. I think it's because our troops, tank crews are fairly experienced at this point. The main difference is that they can maneuver and fire accurately, at least to some extent. One final tank. We could destroy that one. I think we can destroy it without the help though. All the better. Not sure what units they have still available here. I don't see anything particularly important. Okay. Is that it? I think that's mostly it. Some of the MO109s can still move. That can move actually quite a bit. Right. Right, extra artillery support here probably not gonna hurt. And unless they have something fairly heavy here, which I don't recall them having. Oh fuck. BMP is not something good. Yeah, I think we're in a fairly good position now. They can realistically contest 2 flags because some of their heaviest tank groupings are right next to one of the flag groups. I don't have the forces to counter them if they want to make a push toward us. On the other hand, if they don't do nothing right about now, this will definitely end in our favor. More trouble from them. Now. Bullshit. The blindness of my units is probably the most aggravating thing. To be fair, it really has to do with the fact that they haven't moved in the past 2 turns an inch. So, what exactly do you expect? Another one. There's no way I can get the flags now. Ugh. Also, this is our only unit here that can probably rally, so unless I have something that can spice things up here a little bit, we are boned. Can't even see it. Still, this is our only unit that can realistically even reach that anymore. That's my biggest worry about this. So if something happens to this unit, I basically have nothing anymore there. So that's a loss for us. Suppose I could send one of the jeeps to try to do something. A one with pretty much 0 ammunition. Yeah, one has only 1. It's not. Yeah, it's a reasonable backup here. It'll take. It would reach it on the 18th turn. Still not a good thing. It's way too late. Okay, infantry first. We know that there's enemy infantry here. I'm thinking of leaving the infantry back to hold the line here. My main reason would be that if they really have something in their back pocket, there's really nothing I can do about it. I certainly don't have time to come back and take back any of these flags. So either I gain control of them now and hold them, or that's basically it. Okay. Wait. Right, I was just wondering where exactly we're going here. We're going to try to evade buildings as much as possible, but I don't think that's exactly an option. So yeah. This is already a place where we can't afford to do that. We really have no reason to go here, though. Right, there's just a Sagar team waiting for us. Ready to blast us away, so why in the nine hells would I go there? No one spotting anything? Nice. I don't want to take these flags now. I want to basically not have to defend them. 2, I want to have a lot of units near me so I can... oh shit. One more BMP. I want to have a lot of units there so in case something suddenly pops up, we have backups to rely on. Get rid of the infantry first. Suppress it to the point it can't ruin my attack on the BMP itself. I guess we've fired with these already. Well, don't really see a reason why I shouldn't fire at the gun. Probably won't do anything, but there's no reason not to fire. Mr. Jeep. Could go after almost anything here. Sure, I want to. We capture the flag, right? There's no reason to go further to the west here. We could try to push here, but I'm not sure if that's a sensible thing to do either. But it's better than just sitting here doing nothing, I guess. that it? Self-propelled artillery to the rescue. What wonderful units. Incredibly mobile, perfect for close-range attacks against infantry. No real big downside to these. Also cheap as hell. Well, at least compared to most vehicles. Usually a shot or two and the building is no longer standing. I think I'm gonna leave this to the tanks. I think I'll move a little bit closer here, just in case they want to try something. But here, don't think they have anything left, really. Maybe we should send some more units down here. There's a good chance they won't have time to really do anything. At the same time, they're totally worthless here too, so... Guess we're more or less waiting to decide what to do with the tanks. Can't see shit. Excellent. Don't really see a reason to hold back at this point. Still need to be able to target the goddamn EV. No? It is in a very unfortunate place. I think we'll just have to go right next to it. Just to hit 6%, not exactly excellent. On the other hand, we do have a couple of follow-up units that we could push toward it. I think I'm just gonna take a risk here. Right. Control most of the flags now. 2 flags remain uncontrolled. We might try to move further south. Not sure they would though. There could also be other type of units here. I'm not sure I want to stick my nose too far out. Just want to protect our holdings. If they want to do some kind of a defense against our assault on the flags, now's the time for them to do it. Otherwise it's too late. No, they're holding position. So final turn for us. But we have to get control of the flags. Right, we control all the flags that in the last turn. With any luck, be able to retake the goddamn thing. But we'll see. Where'd the fire come from anyway? Okay. A bit closer than I thought. I think we're just more or less gonna take positions with the flags and fortify our positions there. Just pinned. That's no good. Right. This doesn't need to move anywhere. There's still infantry that could really threaten us, but even that's sort of a limited threat. This is the most vulnerable to us losing it. Not moving an inch here. There are probably other units still here, so going here just will have some risk of us losing units. But I do think we want to move more units closer to the most likely to be contested flags. Alright, here we have a fairly strong position. I don't have a real reason to push things forward. I seem to recall that they were mostly medium machine guns and things like that here. So nothing that would be too threatening. Team crew, don't give a shit. Not much we can do here. More or less we're going to just sit on the flags and do the best thing we can do. I don't want to stick my units here outside the defensive ridge edge there. Do you even have ammunition anymore? It seems like the jeeps themselves can keep firing as long as they're still and the ammo truck doesn't do a goddamn thing. So they'll get automatic refills constantly. 50% chance. Well, it's still 53. No reason not to shoot. Nice timing with these. Starting to miss every shot. Clickety clickety click. Well, that's better than missing. And we destroyed the target. Ooh. I think that's pretty much our final jeeps though. And your button. So, what are you going to do, Mr. Computer? That's what I'm wondering. To do something. Your precious flags are being threatened. I have just extra troops pouring in. And so, what is your answer to all this? We can get quite close to this area. Not spotting anything. I think we're too far up north here to do much good anymore. There is the SAM side here we can try to engage. Okay. Can't really do anything anymore. So either he attacks or nothing happens. Looks like he's attacking. Ooh, we lost the tank. No. Yeah, he's pulling everything he has to red flags. It's a good choice. 1174 versus CBS 75. However, to be fair, we got our asses kicked on the first time, and I had to load quite a few times to get this result. So this should be a decisive victory. I wonder what the win screen more or less is going to be then. Damascus has fallen. The Syrian government fled their capital and is now asking for peace terms favorable to Israel. Due in part to the ceasefire called upon by the United Nations, all units must now stand down and await the arrival of their peacekeeping forces. You and your men did an excellent job in defeating the Syrians. Congratulations on a job well done. So yeah, there's very one-sided victory if you manage to do a decisive one. Uh, what's the point of saving? Yeah. These campaigns are more demanding than I thought they would be. And I hate the marginal victory failure option, especially because there's no warning that that's possible. But I hate it more because of the way it forces you to fight. I feel like you're supposed to have fights where both sides have a reasonable chance of pulling out victory out of it without having to load at all. But I feel like it's not. It's pretty much impossible in a lot of these situations because of the huge amount of reliance on vehicles to get the job done. But there's enough missile, both anti-air and anti-tank, that you can't get through it without getting the couple of 100 points of casualties, which is a marginal victory for you. So I just don't like it. I fundamentally don't like it. And this was what, probably around 8-9 missions. 2, 3 had to be redone because of the losses. So that's quite a lot of missions just for a single campaign. Probably are around a dozen gaming sessions. So looking at these, that's what 80, 90 hours spent probably playing these. I'm certainly not gonna play any kind of a custom campaign, and I think this is gonna take a long time to play through all of these. There's no way. I'll basically get sick of these playing the game if I try to play these all in a row. So I'll get through them at some point, but yeah, I don't mind them. I do like the difficulty changes here and there, but this was pretty much also around 10 missions that were fairly similar to each other. There was a little bit of difference in, are you going to do a meeting engagement, or are you just trying to attack through the enemy positions, but very little variation in what you're going to do and what units you should be using. So more or less 9 missions that are more pretty much the same. Slight variation, but only slight. Not. I'm hoping that it would be more like half a dozen missions at most, unless there's something really different about the missions. But yeah, not difficulty wise, challenge wise, the Golan Heights was just fine. Variation wise, sort of dullish. At the same time, I think I learned a lot about what type of an army works the best. Self-propelled artillery is absolutely fantastic, and huge amount of infantry and APCs makes no sense. It's better to probably buy those per mission basis. They're fairly cheap, and most missions they don't really offer much to your cause. You want anti-tank capability and probably long-range anti-infantry that the self-propelled guns provide. So that's probably a much healthier mix if we have these type of flat environments to fight in.